But I was talking to my friends earlier, and they were talking about an insecure man. Let me say this. Everybody got insecurities. Every man, every woman got insecurities. We need to normalize that. What we don't need to normalize is whenever somebody projects insecurities onto you. They make it seem like what they're insecure about internally is somehow your fault or your responsibility to work out. Whenever a man gets to projecting insecurities onto you, that's your signal to run, not to fix him, not to give him therapy, not to introduce him to all these books. Now, what you can do is first off, have a conversation, let him know, hey, this is how I feel like this is coming off. I ain't really cool with this. But if he does not correct himself, if you're dealing with a man that does not have the capacity to self-correct, to take responsibility, to look in the mirror, once you just bring something to his attention, it is your time to go. Otherwise, what's going to go is your peace. So again, when it comes to a man having insecurities, let me just kind of break it down a little bit more. A man may have insecurities about his height, about his sexual performance. Everybody has some type of insecurities. I'm not saying he's a bad guy, weak guy, beta male, or anything like that, just because he has some insecurities. There's a way that you handle that. And let me be also real. There are some women out here, and I know it ain't a majority of y'all, but there are some women out here who will actually try to leverage a man's insecurities, to try and weaken him, to try and cut him down. Same way there are men that would do that to y'all. But for those of y'all who be holding your man down, speaking to the king of him, supporting him, loving him, in his corner, giving him no valid reason to feel insecure about his place in your life, but you notice that he's really critical. There's always a problem with something. It's just like the tension between you two is just mounting and mounting and mounting. More than likely, he's projecting one of a few insecurities onto you. There's several, but I'm going to go over a few. The first one is the insecurity may be in your financial leveling up. If during the relationship, you've made all of these strides in your career, even your education, by the way, but if you've made all of these strides in your professional career, you may have your man, if he's insecure and if he sees you as his competition, start to project those insecurities onto you. And what that'll sound like is, oh, you think just because now you making more money, oh, you think just because you got that promotion, oh, all of a sudden, and he'll start putting it onto you. Another way he'll do it is, all you do is work. All you do is go to work. All you do is fool around with that business. All you do is such and such. And in reality, you ain't spending no extra time with that business than what you was before. The only difference is now you starting to win. Another way that he'll project onto you when it comes to him being insecure about your financial leveling up, every time you hit a milestone, every time you start winning, you'll notice that not only does he deflate, he somehow turns it around on you as bragging. Oh, you throwing it all in my face that you getting all of this money and blah, 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 blah. And now this is really going to trip some of y'all out. Because you're dealing with a guy probably that was willing to support you and help you get to that place. And some of y'all be like, oh my goodness, that's so great. He invest in me. He support my dreams. A man could support your dreams and invest in you only because he really doesn't believe in you. It just makes him look good. It makes you feel good and it makes him look good. There are men out here who will invest in you. They will pay for your school. They will invest in your business. I've seen it with my own eyes. And really, they don't actually believe in you. But whenever you actually start doing something, you start getting some real motion. You start aggravating the insecurities in him. And instead of him looking in the mirror and say, dang, you know what I'm saying? Why am I insecure? My lady is doing great. She's only like, it's only going to hurt us. I mean, it's only going to help us. It's not going to hurt us. Instead, he starts looking at it like this is an illumination of my deficiency. Why ain't my business growing like hers? He can still have more money than you, but especially if you get more money than him. Why am I not the financial superior? There's some men who have this blueprint of a relationship where they're only a man if they have more money than their woman, more success than their woman. And they don't know how to handle a woman. Rather, they really don't know how to see themselves as still valuable and valid as a man in his proper role in the relationship if he's not the financial superior. So they cool with supporting you, but they ain't cool with supporting you to the point where now you can support them, or really you don't need him to support you anymore. And so you'll have guys who project that onto you, and that again, that's an internal lack of security, insecurity, internal lack of security. Because of what he thought he was. Instead of him understanding that, hey, I'm not just an ATM. You know, she needs my protection. She needs my provision. She needs a shoulder to lean on in hard times. She needs somebody to help her get clarity, to bring her back down when her emotions get all over the place. Instead of him understanding all the different ways that he can show up valuable to you as a man, he starts projecting it onto you as if you're the problem for simply succeeding and making something out of that investment. Now, that's just one of the ways. I really had to go in on that because a lot of y'all are starting businesses. You're going after that education you never went after, and you just know you got a man in your corner. But it's so confusing because that's the main one that's sitting here challenging you and kind of hating on you as you starting to come up off of his initial support. So don't get it twisted just because a man invests in you or supports you in the beginning. If that man ain't your biggest cheerleader every step of the way, that's the problem. He's probably your biggest hater. And now this is granted, I got to give a disclaimer. This is granted that you still are making time for him. This is granted that you are still respecting him. But for those of y'all who ain't changed up, switched up how you treated your man, you just started winning, and all of a sudden you notice he started hating, that's why he's projecting onto you. Another way that a man will project onto you is in the form of your looks. He'll start projecting onto you like the same thing that attracted him to you. Now all of a sudden he wants the whole world to be blind. And because the whole world can't be blind, he'd rather just come at you and blame you for putting extra effort into yourself. Now, this is for those of y'all who are not so scantily clad. I'm not hating, I'm not judging. Do you? You probably look beautiful, with your nipples and areolas and your ovaries showing on the great. Look, do you? I'm not hating. But for those of y'all who aren't even on that type of time, and you notice your man starts getting suspicious as to why all of a sudden you doing your hair. Well, you always been doing your hair. Why are you putting on that extra perfume? Why you going to church? Why you got to wear makeup? Oh, you doing this, that. You must be trying to impress that boy at work. That's a man that is insecure about your looks. Yeah, he wanted a baddie. He wanted a beautiful woman. But honestly, his security ain't set up to handle a beautiful woman. Now he wants you to dress different, tone it down. Unless you with him. That's the man who is projecting. He start making it about you. You out here trying to get attention from these men. He start making it about you. That man is projecting the insecurity onto you. And there are multiple more ways. I really want to get to one in a second, but if you have a great personality, people just gravitate towards you. If you just lost a lot of weight, you've been in that gym grinding, expect a weak man to project insecurities onto you. Not every man. But again, if you're the type of woman that whenever you go into a room, people gravitate towards you, you have the room laughing, or maybe you don't even have that, but you have that type of essence that whenever you go somewhere, people want to be near you. They're curious about you. They, like women just hang on your every word. Men respectfully have to just admire your essence. Like you just got that Savannah James, that Michelle Obama type of presence. And your man ain't really got that. He never probably even felt what it feels like to be near a woman that gets more attention than him. And he'll start projecting on you as if you're calling for attention, as if you think you so much better than him. Just because you think everybody like you. And he start bringing to your attention how some people don't like that, how that don't mean that it's good just because everybody like it. That's a man that's projecting insecurities onto you. He's mad that he ain't got that glow, that his spirit is not attractive. And it's probably not attractive because he's so insecure. But again, the last one I want to really focus on. A man can be really insecure and project that onto you if your character is developing during the relationship. Those of y'all who like to grow, read books, you out here releasing bad energy, healing, you're doing all of these different things to internally level up your character, your health, your wellness, your mental health. Maybe it's even just in your intelligence, but somehow, some way, you're looking to evolve. Expect that man. Y'all ever heard a man say something like, I honestly think you just deserve better. You too good for me. That lets you know that you're going to outgrow that man if you haven't already outgrown him at the very beginning. Put down in the chat if you've ever had a man like compliment you, but on the back end insinuate that you deserve better than him. You deserve better than me. I don't even know why you with me. You can do better than me. And he ain't even just talking about your looks. That's like the red flag that this man has an insecurity around his own character. Maybe he's honestly being just straight up with you, like he knows he's trash. But I think even a man that's trash, if he really wants to, he can put away all of those trash ways and become the king that he was really designed to be. We were designed to be kings. The problem is whenever we don't walk into that. And I've been there before myself. But if a man sees that you're growing and you putting all this effort into yourself. Now your taste is changing. The way you talk is changing. What you're interested in is changing. You don't want to talk about BS no more. You're really getting interested in how to create financial wealth and wellness and longevity. You're getting better at your eating habits. You don't want to watch the same things all the time anymore. You're trying to evolve the communication and conflict resolution. You're trying to do all of these things and you're trying to pull him along. It may start feeling like you're raising him. You get into that parent-child dynamic. You feel like you're the most mature one. As you breaking concepts down because you've been learning and growing, he gets really defensive. He'll project onto you his insecurity, and it's a reflection of the character disparity that's now happening in a relationship. You've been growing, he hasn't. Anytime you get with a man who's not growing, you may be compatible for a season, but you're not going to be compatible for a lifetime or even a long time. You guys are going to grow apart. And so you got to make sure, we talked about this in the masterclass, Secrets to Making Evolved Men Crave You. Part of that masterclass was discussing how to even evaluate if a man is truly evolved. And one question I gave y'all on that masterclass, again, that was free, and it's at the link down that's pinned right here in the comments, it's free. But one of the first things you need to ask a man is, what do you do for growth? What do you do for growth? What do you mean growth as a man, personal growth? How do you ensure that you're constantly on the right trajectory in terms of your growth? If he can't speak to that question, if he can't give you a breakdown, if he can't give you his daily regimen, if he can't give you the milestones, the progress he's made, how he can tangibilize the progress that he's made, the areas that he's still growing, that man is not growing. Because growth is intentional, it's not accidental. Change is the only thing that's automatic. Change is inevitable. Growth is optional. And so this is why a lot of y'all run into these guys who are unequally yoked. They don't start off that way. Maybe whenever you met him in high school or college or at age 30 or 35 or something like that, y'all were right here. But you didn't assess his path. You looked at his potential in terms of what he could do if he just would, but you didn't look at what does his track record say? What does his current list of priorities say about where this man is headed? And will he meet me there as I'm getting where I'm going? So if you're a growth-oriented woman, you cannot work with anything less than a growth-oriented, evolved man. And if you've been trying to force that, that's the reason why you've gotten hurt over and over again. That's the reason why you've wasted the best years of your life. That's the reason why you got to a point where you almost lost yourself because you was holding on to somebody that was only compatible with your old self. That's the reason why. That's the reason why there was so much conflict every time you started to level up. It's like you took 2 steps forward, 10 steps backwards, and it was because of that man that you were with that was not growing, that was making sure you didn't outgrow him so that y'all can stay compatible. And what you have to do is deploy the strategies to attract evolved men who are still growing, growth-oriented, and men who have already done the work to evolve up until this point. Now, if you don't know how to attract evolved men, don't worry, you just like a lot of women that needed the strategies that I went over in my free masterclass, The Secrets to Making Evolved Men Crave You. If you have not gotten access yet, click the link that you see pinned right here down in the comments before this comes down and get access. Register right now for free to the masterclass. It's also in the caption whenever you back out. Secrets to Making Evolved Men Crave You, because we ain't doing no chasing around here. And you don't have to if you use the strategies. You will see results in the first 24 hours. But back to what I was saying. Those of you that are experiencing a high level of conflict, it's always just a clash, there's always something wrong with this man. When at the beginning of the relationship, it seemed cool. It was cool. But then the moment y'all got emotionally invested, the moment you started seeing some motion in some of the plans that you set, the moment you started making progress in your life, the moment you lost that weight, the moment you went to therapy, the moment that you started doing whatever, and it started making you more like closer to your full potential, and then y'all started clashing, the more you went around people and they loved you and they loved your light, and he was just looking like, dang, I feel left out. He all of a sudden had all of these problems with you. He's projecting his insecurities onto you. You give them right back to the owner. Let him do what he's supposed to do with that. You can support him, but you cannot fix him. Those are just my thoughts. I'm your internet brother, trying to look out. Y'all let me know what you think down in the comments. And if you got anything from this, share this right now for somebody else in your timeline that needs to hear this message. And if you have not yet, do not miss out on this opportunity, because once it's gone, it's gone. Click the link that you see pinned right here. This link right here. Click that link. Get access to the masterclass, Secrets to Making Evolved Men Crave You, before it comes down, where I break down the strategies to attracting multiple evolved men so you can choose the right one for you. Not that you're going to play with them, but so you can choose the right one for you, that you can grow with, not have to build up. Again, that link is right here down in the comments, also in the caption when you back out. Holla at your lady, I'll be good. Peace!